Hi, I just received an email from Tammy Sikowski, a fourth grade teacher in Doolin Schools in Indiana. And she's questioning the more traditional research writing units that maybe most of us grew up with, and whether or not we should be doing those in our classroom within our writing curriculum because they take so long, they produce one product, and they include so many skills, but they're all done once. And so, after looking at the standards, Tammy said, our standards even talk about short research writing. So, what are my thoughts? Well, my thoughts are much like yours, Tammy, and that is that we have to really give kids more experience with research writing. And to be honest, they do research all the time. They grab their cell phones and they type something in and they read three or four quick videos or see some images or read part of a blog post, and they're jumping around, and in 5 minutes they read 12 sources all on one topic. They do this all the time, and so do we now need to bring it into our academic classroom and teach kids how to research academic topics and concepts within these same short spurt research experiences. Super fast, I'm going to show you my screen here and honor that in traditional research writing, the reason it goes so long is we give kids 3, 4, 5 days to pick a topic, and then another 5, 6, 8, 10 days to find sources. And so they're finding sources, and they're in the media center, or they're on their device, and they're print, copy paste, and we need to do this. It is a standard. Kids are supposed to utilize multiple sources, and print and digital. And they're supposed to be able to draw conclusions, synthesize, research, and reflect. Then we finally say, read these sources, you guys. Stop printing. Just read them. So we do. And then we say, so what's your report going to be on? What's your thesis statement? What are you going to try to prove, or what are you going to explain in your report? Then, depending on how long we made the research report be, they have to write the first draft. Is it going to be 2 pages, 5 pages, 10 pages? And then we have to conference so they can revise and edit. You want to know why I go 6 weeks, Tammy? That's why. And we need to question why we're doing this. What I want you to consider is this idea of a simulated research task. And that's where maybe we provide the topics, or just a choice of one or two. And the idea that we provide the sources. Not all the time. We do have to teach them how to find credible and accurate sources that are relevant. But we can do a whole lot of research practice by just feeding them the sources. This is partly what makes it simulated. They're doing some of the tasks for real, and some of it is kind of faked. And so we can give them the sources and or give them the topic, and maybe we don't give them as many sources. And make sure one's a video, so they're getting used to reading videos to cite evidence. Then, after they read and collect information, we do want them to write. We want a topic sentence, a thesis statement. We want them to write about what they've learned. But maybe it doesn't have to be such a long first draft. I realized if they can't write a one-page report, they can't do a 10-page. And I'd rather have them have practice writing 10 one-page reports this year rather than one experience writing a 10-page report. And keep in mind one other thing about real world, this kind of simulated research task that we're all doing in the real world, is that we don't tend to revise. You have one chance to pull this off. So this kind of simulated research is absolutely what I would be doing in the classroom. And you're right, it does honor the standards. When we compare the differences, we could spend weeks or one sitting. We could have them always gather their own sources, or we give them some provided sources. It's a long product or a short product. Again, full-on writing process is a standard. We are supposed to give kids some experiences with that. But you're spot on, Tammy, when you say, aren't we supposed to do those short ones too? Yep, that's what the standards say. Short, simulated, many more experiences than we're probably giving kids. So you're spot on with what you're thinking, and I would look for numerous experiences, opportunities for experiences in one sitting, and maybe one medium length, one longer, one sustained, but nobody gets good at doing something just once, do they? Hey, thanks for your question, Tammy.